everybody thinks they're right.
You have a worldview, you're presented with evidence that conflicts with the worldview, so you either have to change your worldview, which is hard because you've lived your whole life with it, or you just dismiss the evidence and dismiss the authorities.
What makes sense to the universe is not the same as what makes sense to us, and we can't impose our beliefs on the universe.
If I was going to teach my students how to think critically, what are the key points? Like just basic questions they could ask.
And at 4:30, they'll have to go to bed.
Go home, but not so open that my brains fall out. And that's the key point. We have to skeptically assess the information we receive. We can't be gullible because when we get a lot of information, it's absolutely certain that some of that information is wrong. And so we have to always filter what we get. And we have to ask ourselves the following question.
Who said that?
How open does my brain have to be to accept that information? Does it have to fall out? And by that I mean, when someone tells you something, you have to ask, is this consistent with my experience? Is it consistent with the experience of other people around me? And if it isn't, then probably there's a good reason to be skeptical about it. It's probably wrong. If it makes predictions that also appear to be in disagreement with things that you observe around you, you should question it. And so we should never take anything on faith. That's really the mantra of science, if you want. That faith is the enemy of science. We often talk about a loss of faith in the world today. You don't lose anything by losing faith, okay? What you gain is reality. And so skepticism plays a key role in science simply because we also are hardwired to want to believe. We're hardwired to want to find reasons for things. In the savannah in Africa, the trees could be rustling, and you could choose to say, well, there's no reason for that, or maybe it's due to a lion. And those individuals who thought there might be no reason never lived long enough to survive to procreate. And so it's not too surprising we want to find explanations for everything, and we create them if we need to satisfy ourselves, because we need to make sense of the world around us. And what we have to understand is that what makes sense to the universe is not the same as what makes sense to us. And we can't impose our beliefs on the universe. And the way we get around that inherent bias is by constantly questioning both ourselves and all the information we receive from others. That's what we do in science, and it works beautifully in the real world as well.
The problem is this: none of us has the truth. The only way to find out that if you're deceiving yourself or not, if you've gone off the rails, if you're wrong in some way, is to listen to other people that disagree with you. I started encountering other people that disagree with me. We never went to the moon people, conspiracy people, whatever. And I thought, okay, so how do we know, if I don't know what's coming down the pike, say in 10 years from now, if I was going to teach my students how to think critically, what are the key points? Like just basic questions they could ask. So it begins with one, how reliable is the source of the claim? Here's the claim, how reliable is it? What's the evidence for it? What's the quality of the evidence? Where does it come from? Who said that? Who said that?
Well, I'm not a guru.
Who said that?
I'm simply somebody who enjoys talking about what I think.
Brains fall out.
The philosopher is a lover of wisdom. And I like to talk. Ever since I was a tiny boy, I loved to talk. So I've been talking ever since.
Brains fall out.
I remember once I was looking in the open air, and one of those glorious little thistledown things came, and I picked it up like that and brought it down, and it looked as if it was struggling to get away, just as if you caught an insect by one leg, like a daddy long legs or something of that kind. It seemed to be struggling to get away, and I thought, well, it's not doing that. That's just the wind blowing. Then I thought again. Really? Only the wind blowing? Surely it is the structure of this thing which, in cooperation with the existence of wind, enables it to move like an animal. but using the wind's effort, not its own. It is more intelligent being than an insect, in a way, because an insect uses effort. Like a person who rows a boat uses effort, but the man who puts up a sail is using magic. He lets nature do it for him, with the intelligence to use a sail. See? That is the most highly skillful art of all. That is Taoism in perfection. The art of sailing. Very intelligent.
You see, in the history of philosophy and poetry and art, we always find the interchange of two personality types, which I call prickles and goos. The prickly people are advocates of intellectual porcupinism. They want a rigor, they want precise statisticness, and they have a certain clipped attitude in their voices, and you know this very well in academic circles, where there are people who are always edgy like that, and they accuse other people of being disgustingly vague and miasmic and mystical. But the vague, miasmic and mystical people accuse the prickly people of being mere skeletons with no flesh on their bones. And they say to you, you just rattle. You're not really a human being. You know the words, but you don't know the music. But you don't know the music. So therefore, if you belong to the prickly type, you hope that the ultimate constituent of matter is part of it. But you don't know the music. If you belong to the gooey type, you hope it's waves. But you don't know the music. If you are prickly, you're a classicist. But you don't know the music. And if you're gooey, you're a romanticist. But you don't know the music. And you're going back into medieval philosophy. If you're prickly, you're a nominalist. If you're gooey, you're a realist. But you don't know the music. But we know very well that this natural universe is neither prickles nor goo exclusively. But you don't know the music. It's gooey prickles and prickly goo. And you see, it all depends on your level of magnification. But you don't know. If you've got your magnification on something so that the focus is clear, but you don't know the music. You've got a prickly point, but you don't know the music. You've got structure, but you don't know the music. Shape, but you don't clearly outlined, sharply defined, but you don't know the music. Clearly outlined, sharply defined. You know the words, but you don't know the music. The music, 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 the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You just rattle. You know the words. You're not really a human being. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words. You're not really a human being. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You just rap it, you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You just rap it, you don't know the music. You know the words, you just rap the music. You know the words, but you don't know the rap. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You just rattle. You're not really a human being. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't. And they say to you, you just rattle. You're not really a human being. You know the words, but you don't know the music. The music. words, but you don't know the music. You know the words, but you don't know the music.